What's good, Internet? My name is attackslug, and welcome back to WWE 13, The Attitude Era. It is time for The Rock versus the Big Boss Man. Win the match in 1 minute with light or less damage. So it's a squash match here at Deadly Games Survivor Series. Welcome to a fine Saturday here on the program. We have some things to discuss
everyone to the
today.
12th annual Survivor Series. And it will be a deadly game here tonight. Over 20,000 fans have sold out this magnificent facility in St. Louis, Missouri in anticipation for seeing a new WWE champion crown.
And without a doubt, it's gonna happen tonight. Mr. McMahon has guaranteed it.
I guarantee it. Anyway, returning to Table for 3 this week on Monday, a brand new Table for 3, and you could say it is a Table for 3 MB. That's right, Heath, Drew, and Jinder on Table for 3 this Monday. Pretty hype about that. My daddy, the Big Boss Man.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. McMahon himself did the pairing for this single elimination tournament. It will only be winners advancing. And again, it has been guaranteed that a new champion will be crowned here tonight at the Survivor Series.
So there was a fun spot at an NXT house show last night featuring one Cesaro appearing to help out his old tag team partner, Cassius Ohno, formerly known as the Kings of Wrestling, as part of Ohno's 20th year in the business celebration type stuff. NXT house shows sound amazing. That is some cool stuff. So, awesome. 1 minute. How fast will my... Oh, I have a finisher. So, rock bottom, and we're done? Like, is that it? 1, 2... Why is this match even in the game? Why is that match even in the game?
Oh, yeah! Can you smell what The Rock has cooked up for the Big Boss Man? How do you like that, Mr. McMahon?
Well, you know that's not fair. Boss Man wasn't even ready.
Hey, Mr. McMahon, The Rock told me to tell you that he just beat your henchman in about a minute.
Mr. McMahon's not going to be very happy about this.
Like, I understand from a historical perspective, that makes sense. But why is that match, from a gameplay perspective, why is that match even in this video game? I don't... That's like, alright, we're gonna put in a WrestleMania moment. It is The Rock and Eric Rowan, where he beat him in like 8 seconds. Like, what was the point of that? Okay, you unlocked the Big Boss Man, but still, what was the point of that? Moving on, in the tournament, The Rock versus Ken Shamrock. Attitude moment, People's Elbow, 8 minutes or less. Anyway, we have some blockbuster news for Smackdown 1000, happening in a short several weeks on, I think, the 16th of October, so in like 2 weeks or so. And it's a good announcement, but at the same time, it is a very strange announcement, right? So, we know now, despite having him say that he had not gotten a phone call about it, that Batista will be at Smackdown 1000, and that's awesome. So happy to see Big Dave make his return on Smackdown for at least one night. But the weird part is that they're going to have Evolution. The announcement was for Evolution at Smackdown 1000. Triple H, Ric Flair, Randy Orton, who's obviously already there, and Batista. And if you've watched wrestling for a long time, you would know Evolution was never on the SmackDown brand. They were always a Raw faction. So having Evolution at SmackDown 1000 as your 1000th episode celebration of SmackDown, even though they were never on SmackDown, is really weird. Like, that to me makes the logic thing there. Now, perhaps it's, alright, we don't want to give Batista his own spotlight on SmackDown, so put him in a group he was in, right? But at the same time, that also makes it weird, because Triple H, you can argue, gets face pops, right? Ric Flair, obviously, as a legend, gets face pops. Batista, gonna get face pops. Randy Orton's a heel right now. He's a dastardly heel right now. So that's going to be, I don't know. I'm sure they can probably handle it some way, somehow. But again, that's kind of really weird. But sure, you know what? Any way you can get Batista on that show as a very important part of SmackDown history is a good thing. Hopefully also Mysterio, hopefully also, you know, other people who were on SmackDown or who made a big name for themselves on SmackDown will be at SmackDown 1000. Here's hoping. Here's hoping. Also, again, really? I was going to say, the attitude moment and people's elbow on Kenny over here, who just wanted to get a table for some reason. Does this match have a spot with a table in it? Is Ken Shamrock going to reverse everything that I do here? I don't know. But the countdown is on. We have 7.5 minutes remaining. I've gotten in, like, no offense here. And the game is all of a sudden very difficult. So I haven't changed the difficulty. And that's just kind of how things go sometimes in these video games. To make things realistic or to make them historically accurate or whatever. We're going to have Ken Shamrock be on hard or higher because of reasons. So strap in, folks. I'm already busted open. It might be a long night. It might be a long night. Also, I can't get... There we go. Any reversals? Seriously? Yep. Alright. I see you, Ken. I see you. Eye for an eye. Tooth for a tooth. And have yourself a neck breaker. Anyway. We have, with less than a week to go here, until 2K19. And there is some things to discuss. Specifically, the blog posts they've been doing. Right? Which, honestly... Had they put those out, like, you know, early August with that trailer, there would have been way less negative emotion on their marketing plan, because at that point, they didn't have one. And now it's like, alright, this is like things we could have known a lot earlier. People would be like, oh man, that's exciting, because there's a lot of good quality of life improvements in that game, in what they're doing, as opposed to last year, year before, right? That's a good thing, right? As Diamond Dallas Page would say, it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Anyway, so, there is one thing in particular, though, that I want to call attention to. As someone who has a very well-established opinion on loot boxes and their use therein in these VAR video games, there's a part in the Part 3 blog post that says you'll be able to use the in-game currency if you have a particular move or part that you want. You can use the in-game currency to get that move or part. And question A is this, then why are there loot boxes? Like, why are there loot boxes if we can just buy the part we want, like in other games that are of the same type? And B, why was this information not seen or mentioned by any of the YouTubers who were at the event with 2K? Like, why was this feature not in the build those guys saw? Because that, to me, begs some more important questions. And those questions are, alright, well then, what else is in the final build that was clearly not in the build that was played by the YouTubers at the 2K press event? What else is different? What else is, perhaps, significant about how their in-game economy works? Because if you can just use VC, or tokens, to buy the move that you want, then why, oh why, would you need the loot packs? Like, sure, you could have the actual individual moves cost way more VC than it would cost to get the tokens to open a loot pack. That is one way to have that hinge. I get that. Alright, here is your attitude moment. Here is your attitude moment. I'm assuming a ref bump, as they've all been ref bumps thus far. Oh, no, here's Boss Man. Never mind. It is not a ref bump. It is a Boss Man bump. Circle. Yep. Nice. Good job, Rock. 1, 2. How is that a 1 count? He hit him with the thing. How is that a 1 count? Now I have 3.5 minutes just about to make this happen. Boss Man, you're out of there. Referee, pay attention to the Rock doing what the Rock does and getting the pinfall on the Shamrock. 1, 2, 3. Over. Sorry, Boss Man.
Despite the interference, will advance. And McMahon has to be livid. It looks as if McMahon assigned the Boss Man to take out The Rock to make sure The Rock did not advance.
I'll tell you this, Big Boss Man can say goodbye to his rear end, because he won't have one after Mr. McMahon gets through chewing it.
The Boss Man was tossing the nightstick, apparently, to Shamrock. But The Rock got in the way of the pass. So now, The Rock moves on.
The Rock says, so not all moves and not all parts can be purchased directly. They've said special rewards are kind of exempt from that, but if their special rewards are like what they had last year in Road to Glory with those masks, then I don't really care. Like, that's not particularly significant to me. Bonus match, Taker versus Kane once again.
The Undertaker is a two-time WWE champion, winning his first title at the 1991 Survivor Series.
A year
And
after
it's
he
the
debuted.
Undertaker who blames Stone Cold Steve Austin for not being the WWE champion right here, right now.
And Paul Bearer will be joining The Undertaker tonight.
It has been 2 long months since a man has had the privilege and honor of being the WWE champion. And a lot of folks are thinking that Undertaker could be the next WWE title holder.
So again, this information does beg more questions about the actual final build of the game and how its in-game economy operates. Because if you can just buy what you want, then for me, I need the capture suplex as a signature, the rack bomb as a finisher, and I'm kind of good. That's kind of the most important things that I need. In terms of parts for the outfits, I'll figure something out, right? But, like, the moves to me, the actual finisher and signature are the most important parts of the things that I need. But again, like, why is it in there, and why wasn't that in the build that was played by the YouTubers when the game was played by them so close to release? Which to me says, alright, what else could change in that day 1 patch? What else could be significantly different in terms of how things work in that game? So again, I can't render final judgment on how their loot box, loot pack, loot whatever nonsense works in the game, because the game's not out, it has not gotten that day 1 patch, and we don't know what the deal is. So, once I know what the deal is, believe me, I will have some things to say about it. Because currently, it seems like they've put in an entire marketplace that seems like a mobile game with no actual way to put in money to it, which A, is good, but B, if you're going to go through all the problems and troubles of designing that kind of system, then to not have a actual money component to it seems like you put in a lot of work for no real reason, other than, hey, people like opening loot boxes, because I guess they do. But, again, I feel like in a wrestling game, it's antithetical to what you want to have in a wrestling game. Like, it's like, alright, I'm playing Madden, and I'm playing my own guy in Madden, I have to unlock a kind of pass, and I'm like, it's not... It just doesn't work for me, you know? It's alright. Overwatch, it's cosmetic, and it's not gameplay affecting, because it's cosmetic. Whereas wrestling, cosmetic is half of what makes your character, right? It's half of the part of wrestling is A, you're a good wrestler, and B, you're a good character. Hopefully both. So it is kind of intrinsic to the experience, and locking that behind a random number generator is kind of BS. Always has been, always will be. But usually I say, hey, if the game's good, then, you know, I can kind of look past a lot of stuff with quality gameplay. And certainly last year, that was not a thing I could look to and say, oh yeah, quality gameplay, because I'll forgive the loot boxes. It was such a boring my career that no, that is not the case. Not the case. Alright, we gotta hit several tombstones here on the Monster Cane for today's video. So, let's build our thing again and do the thing again. Taker! He missed the clothesline. He missed the clothesline. Just totally whiffed it, and then I was holding the button already and accidentally did the choke slam, so now I gotta build it up for a 3rd time, because that was not the tombstone. And Paul Bearer just on the apron for no reason. Clothesline! Tombstone! I can't tell if that's too close to the ropes or not, so we're going to have to just tombstone him. Yep, that's too close to the ropes. Grab him, drag him. They're all so tall. They're all so tall. 1, 2, just barely. Just with 1 second to spare.
A new big JR. That's your new WWE champion.
Well, that could very well be. Either way, Undertaker will be facing The Rock in the semifinals of this tournament.
Woo, woo. And tomorrow will be those semi-finals. I am your host, attackslug. More videos every day. I'll see you next time right here on this channel. And I'm out.